Get On With It was a song, mainly my song, and Julian had help in writing that one. Started that one I think 2017 or 2018. Anyways, we were recording some stuff sort of while we were getting the last album mixed, and that was one of the ones we were working on, and it basically had to do with somebody I knew who was trying to finish something and it was taking a long time, and I was really struggling why it was taking so long, and I wrote those lyrics just based on my emotion of that scenario. And it does hark a little bit back to, I think, when the Eagles came out with Get Over It. There was just a sort of an angst in it, but ours was a different subject, sort of, so that's why it's Get On With It.
That's a song that Gene Simmons will be proud of. Can't deny him. We all are Kisses fans, and if you hear that song, then you can see all the influence in there.
Damnation is a song that was pretty much done already, the set, and he brought that one in, and it had a really cool vibe to it. It really stood out, so we embraced that track.
Damnation was a song I wrote after figuring out some of my coworkers were religious, so then I went back home and thought, what about those who worship Satan? So then I started coming up with these lines for a chorus, and then I picked the two best ones, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write a song about that. Maybe it's gonna be stupid, but I don't care, I still want to give it a shot. So I went through my riffs library, and then I picked the best fitting ones, and then I ended up writing the first verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus, and then the next day I write the second verse, and then I'm like, maybe I should show it to Jer. He's probably not gonna like it, but hey, we'll never know. And then I show it to him, I'm like, please rearrange the lyrics, I don't like them. But then he's like, no, they're fine. And then I'm like, okay. And then I decided to write the third verse, and I'm like, okay, you know what, that'll do. And then apparently the guys really liked the song after we rehearsed it.
My impersonation was, or impression was, you'd be damned if you do, damned if you don't. But, you know, if you're not careful, you're going to be damned.
It's another of the early songs started to play live even before we decided to start recording.
Back on Lonely Street, I think again, this is one of these things come up with song lyrics that I like to make them obtuse sometimes, and I'd like the listener to sort of pick up on their own experiences and apply that to this song. It might sort of direct you in what you're feeling, but let them decide what the song means for them.
It's a different song. It's a lot of groove, a lot of bluesy licks, and oddly enough, I use a telly for the song because that's what it was calling for. And if you listen to it, then you can hear all over the place.
I had this idea for a while where actually I had listened to an old Kiss bootleg from the early 80s, and I didn't know the title was anyways, and I listened to it, I really liked it, and I wrote some lyrics for it, and it just sat in my books for years after that. And then I had this new idea, and I was looking for some lyrics for it. I came across these ones, and I think this fits the song well, the sentiment. And it's kind of a song about a relationship that just you tried and it hasn't worked, so you're back to being yourself and relying on you. So the song also too, the way it came out, it was really showing to me that it needed an outside element, and we decided it was going to be a trumpet. And funny enough, the person we ended up getting, we met him on Facebook. So Eric Littlewood came in and he did the horns on that track. we're satisfied with it, and I think it has a different feel about it, which I've always liked about records where they're sort of up and down, heavy, soft. We're pretty much a heavy band, but I mean, it's nice to have those different dynamics. You know, makes it a more well-rounded record.